there is still some work that needs to be done on that person, and they have to be willing to do it. This is not your fight. Everybody just want to be around when things are up. Mountain season. It's amazing up here. Until something hits. I think there's a real tension that you have to deal with. Like, how long? Are you really going to be patient here? So he asked, like, can you expand on what it means to carry each other's burdens?
Yeah. Really good question, but let me say it to you like this. To carry implies exactly what it is. In other words, I'm going to share in that burden. Watch this, but we got to keep that text in context, right? Because what it said to us was, if a brother is overtaken in a fault, it says to restore that person in meekness. So what that literally means is that as we're carrying that burden, that we're considering ourselves in that, meaning this, really simple, right? It says, if a man is overtaken you which is spiritual, restore such a one in spirit of meekness, considering yourself, bear one another's burden. So to bear another person's burden, you got to just go back into verse 1 and understand that all of that leads up to verse 2. What he's saying, bear one another's burdens so you fulfill the law of Christ. What's the law of Christ? Love is the highest call for all of us, right? So the goal here is that for us to do this, we do it in such a way where we're holding ourselves in consideration while we're dealing with our brother and sister who is caught up in a fault. So we're not doing it with judgment. We are doing it with meekness, with the spirit of humility, where we're saying, I want to make sure that as I'm restoring you, that I'm not condemning you at the same time. I want to make sure I'm not putting my finger in your wounds and twisting it and putting you in this space. So I'm bearing this burden with you. I'm holding it up with you. You got my prayer. You got my support. I'm standing next to you. I'm not abandoning you on the road of your difficulty, of your sin, because I see that you're here. You showed up for this restoration process. So I'm bearing that up with you. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think it's important to inquire this too, because I know that can be definitely something that we take and, oh yeah, so I'm just supposed to bear the burden. So not only am I in it with you, but I'm supposed to do the work for you. Heck no. Okay. There is no way does this text also imply in what PD just mentioned that I'm supposed to do the work for you. I'm supposed to play the savior. I'm supposed to not only, help you with it and comfort you through it, but I'm also supposed to carry you or carry you to the finish line without you doing any of the work on yourself. Right. There is still some work that needs to be done on that person, and they have to be willing to do it. This is not your fight. That is not a fight that you pick up. That is not a fight that you make it your life's mission to win for them, win through them. That is something that you are just simply making it known that I'm here with you. Okay. I'm understanding you. There is no judgment here. This is a safe space. This is a space of containment, and we can have those conversations. But at the end of the day, you got to be willing to do the work. I can only say so much. I can only offer so much. You have to be willing to do the work yourself. And I can be patient in seeing that work through you, no matter how long it takes, in a lot of ways and areas. So I thought that'd be safe or fair to throw that in there as well, because I know that there's a lot of people who might carry that thought. Oh, I can bear that burden. I can carry that for you. It's not supposed to be something you fight for them though. They got to be willing to do the work. So I think that's important too. Yo, listen, I've got something amazing in the works for you available right now. If you're somebody who's looking to make this year your best year yet at diving into your faith and allowing it to become more applicable in your life. Never known where to start. You've always been confused. It feels overwhelming. Maybe you feel you don't have time. You don't know how to apply the Bible into your life. You have so many questions and thoughts as to what makes sense. How does it make sense? Don't worry, your boy's got you covered with the Faith Factory. Click the link down in the description below, and in this Google document, and you will find a plethora of resources that are at your disposal for you to be able to grow in your faith. I'm talking Bible plans, content creators to follow and subscribe to that better will enrich your faith, resources, links, books, all of that good stuff, even worship playlists, something to jam out to as you progress through your day. I really think this can be the start of something good for you and the lives around you by locking in and making sure that this year is your best year spiritually, therefore making it your best year ever. Don't forget to click the link in the description and go be great.
This is the NAC commentary. Really deep. I love it. He says this about bearing burdens. He said, the Church of Jesus Christ is not a charitable organization like the Red Cross or a civic club such as Rotary or Kiwanis. Rather, is a family of born-again brothers and sisters supernaturally knit together by the Holy Spirit in a common fellowship of mutual edification and love. In this context, Paul admonishes his readers to bear one another's burdens so to fulfill the law of Christ. The immediate context refers back to the preceding verse, which is what I said, and conveys the ideal of spiritually mature, bearing with and helping to restore those who have fallen into sin. It says, but burden bearing cannot be restricted to that one situation alone. The word burden is baros, meaning literally heavy weight or stone. Someone is required to carry it with you for long distances. This is so good. And that's where I think that we sometimes miss it because we want to get off of that train, man. We're like, if this brother don't turn around immediately, I'm good. But this right here, what he just said, he just gave the Greek of that word, and it means this heavy thing that I got to carry with this brother. But you have to consider yourself in the process. Go ahead, Grape. You got your hand on your face, brother.
Man, dude, because I'm reflecting on the importance, and obviously for me, a lot of patience, right? Just getting more understanding on what that looks like in the daily process. I've had a lot of thoughts recently on just relationship aspects with one another. Like, are you just being patient until it's inconvenient for you?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, because you can't bring a timetable to things that require patience. You will only frustrate yourself. So are you really, and I think this is where it's important because that is something that we're called to. And that's something that we ought to feel. I don't know if I should say responsible to do. I do think that we have a great opportunity to express and give a reaching hand to certain things that people are dealing with and going through. And we have the opportunity to pick up on certain things and certain issues that somebody's struggling with and be there for them. But I think it's very important to just, maybe that's not a fight you should just insert yourself into and say that you're just going to be willingly there for them and you're here for them and you're going to help them and whatever you need, I got you. I know that that's a common word to say. I think you should be really slow to say that. Because there are some situations that you may not know the full details of when you first walk into it that probably don't get expressed till later on. And then you're kind of like, dang, this is kind of a little too much for me. And so I think with that being said, when it comes back to the timetable and being patient, like, are you still going to be patient with them if it takes them 5 years to get it? Like, are you still going to be patient with them when it takes, when maybe this never really gets cleared up? Are you still here? Like, and I think these are questions that you should ask because I know for me, I have a horrible history of over-promising and under-delivering, right? I've made a lot of promises. I've said a lot of things in good conscience. I thought I was being kind. It was just a kind gesture. But when the chips were pushed to the middle of the table, nah, your boy did the skedaddle because I wasn't really thinking that it was going to be like that. You know what I mean? I really didn't think it was going to be that long. I didn't think it was going to take that long. And so you have to be mindful. I have been more conscious and mindful of what I tell people, what I say I'm willing to do for people. Because you get closer and closer understanding that your word is bond, man. I mean, that's really all over the text. That's another conversation for another day. Your word ought to be treated as bond. So if you're going to tell somebody that you're going to be there for them, I think that you should meet that to the best of your abilities and just being mindful of what you tell them. It can be marriage setups, romantic setups. It can be genuine platonic friendship setups. Everything that you tell somebody, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna be patient and I'm gonna continue exercising this patience. Well, I think there's a real tension that you have to deal with. Like, how long are you really going to be patient here? And if this thing never changes, are you still going to be there? Because some people just need to know that you'll remain even when they tell you the truth.
Great. Let me tell you what else he said.
Yeah.
He's going right down this hole. Look at what he said. Listen to this. He says figuratively, it came to mean an oppressive ordeal or hardship that was difficult to bear. Matthew 20:12, where Jesus spoke of workers in the vineyard who bore the burden of the work of the heat of the day. The old-fashioned English word tote conveys something of this ideal to our language. To tote something is not to simply pick it up and put it back down again. Rather, it is to carry the heavy load for great distances, perhaps many miles. Listen, he said, our burdens may differ in size and shape and will vary in kind depending on the providential order of our lives. For some, it's the burden of temptation and the consequences of moral lapse. For others, it's the physical ailment or mental disorder or family crisis or lack of employment or demonic oppression or a host of other things. But no Christian is exempt from burdens. Creation itself is broken and groaning, and all believers groan with it, waiting for the final deliverance of the returner of our Redeemer. I'm about to preach up in this mug right here. Listen. That's so what you're saying. Let me let you keep saying. I just wanted to
that's it. You have to be honest in this space. How long? Because I love what Fred said at the bottom too. He said, yo, you still gonna be patient when they start going in the wrong direction, even though you're trying to help. Like, again, man, when we're in the trenches, when we're in suffering, when we're in pain, when we're dealing with a lot of things that we're actually looking and in a process of healing through, there's a lot of things that look good that you just can't get into. There's a lot of things you want to do that you just know you can't and shouldn't be doing no more, but you're still fighting through it. You just need some people, man, that just going to be 10 toes down for you, just for you, where you're going, where you're at, just for you. You'll really find out, man. You'll really find out a lot of what your real friends are all about when you don't got nothing to offer.
Man,
I'm gonna be so honest to you. When people don't have anything to offer you and yet they still treat you with not just kindness and respect, but they actually go out of their way to see after you, to check in on you, to be present with you, and to help you through that season, man, you got you some good friends, my G. You got some people that are down in the trenches, there's some roots. They are some roots to the tree. You got to hold on to them because that's where that's at.
That's why the qualifier was, you which are spiritual, restore such a one, meaning mature. You have to be mature to go through a restoration process, or you will judge a person in the middle of their restoration.
Ooh.
And they won't be able to return because you'll be a part of the problem and keeping them stuck as to where they are. We're always trying to get somebody to get somewhere, right? And the reality of it is that if we don't have the opportunity to journey with somebody, to carry that heavy burden with them and that load with them, we should just get out of their lives, leave them alone. And we should tell them, I don't have the capacity for you right now. I think that's only fair, right? Is to say that I don't have the capacity to support you right now. So I'm going to connect you with somebody who does. That's wisdom on our part too, to go find somebody who can do that, because it takes a very mature and strong person to be able to do that. It just does.
And accept them for where they are and don't change them. Don't change them. Like, you'll realize how much stress falls off your life when you just stop trying to change people, man. You just stop trying to force what you want and force your outcome, you'll just realize how much stress falls off. And I'm learning this every day. I'm learning this in so many different facets. So this is something that I'm just living in such a great space. But I'm telling you, when you get to that place, it's so refreshing because I can't change you. I can't save you. I needed saving, so I can't do it. Right. But what I can do is be present with you. And what I can do is continue to be by your side as you struggle. Like we just want to be with people when all is good and when the butterflies are in the stomach and when everything is just in the honeymoon phase and it's lovey-dovey. Everybody just want to be around when things are up. Mountain season. It's amazing up here until something hits. That's the inconvenience. Are you still there, bro? Are you still there? So y'all just literally got a whole like load of just advice in every area of your life, your faith, your relationships. Like you just got to be real. You have to be real. Do I have the capacity to contain this? Do I have the availability to really be present with you as you deal with this, as you go through with this, because it's so interesting. And something that because Tim Ross was actually talking about this in a recent podcast. He was like, yo, because somebody in a marriage brought up a issue that they were having. He said, hey, all I know is that issue don't bring up grounds for divorce. I want y'all to think about how easy it is right now. Like if there's something you see in somebody that you don't like, if you're not married, you have an opportunity to just be like, I'm good. Like I don't got to go through no legal trouble, no covenantal trouble. I could just go. I could just go. Like when you think of covenant, when you think of word, bond, and connections, things that, I mean, we talking vow, we talking just you, that person, and God, we talking about everything. Like you can't just up and leave certain situations. That's why I think today's culture in so many ways, relationally specifically, is so crazy to me. Because what we're doing on social media is we're building narcissists. I know that's an easy word that's been thrown around, but because I've been learning more about this, we are building them. Social media is building them. Hey, listen, if they don't give you what you want when you want it, leave them. You deserve better, king. You deserve better, queen. Go get it. Go get yours. That's all the motivational speeches.
Yeah, it is.
That's all the motivational speeches. If you don't get what you want, when you want it, how you want it, sliced and diced, cut them up real nice, then leave them. That's what they tell you. But what we don't get, and this is why again, and I'm going this route just because I see it every day, and it's something I'm in. But when you look at the friendship pool, the dating pool, I wonder if we just start emphasizing the importance of getting an understanding on things before we dip, before we start creating early exits, before we just tell people that this is what I want. I don't care what you want. This is what I want, and if I don't get it, then we're not doing this. I'm leaving. And there's so much damage that's taking place in that in so many people's lives. And I just wonder if we actually lock in on a lot of the selfishness that we're dealing with. Why do I have to have it my way? Why do I have to have this outcome to go the way I want it to, for this to be what it could be, or to just simply be present in it? Why am I so invested in just this narcissistic perspective? Right. And that stems from places, that stems from environments, another conversation. But I'm just saying this patience thing, man, is a whole nother world where you're talking about helping each other, being present with each other. And you have to be honest with yourself on what you have the capacity to pick up and carry. Because if it's just too heavy, then you should just say that. So we aren't going too deep into this. And then you give out because you're like, I thought you was kind of going to have this by now and you don't. So I'm just going to go dip. Like, what benefit does that do? Like, when we get an understanding on these things, when we actually put ourselves in some people's shoes, when we stop looking for early exits, oh, if they don't do it, I know somebody will. What? What? I just wonder how much longer are we going to really be able to carry those perspectives, considering the bigger things that we want in life. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the connection, because it's not many places where you're going to keep carrying that and see the result you want. Just not. So it's a sad deal. And I think as much as social media, TikTok, Instagram culture, everybody wants to say, oh, you're a narcissist and all this and that. And they're building it. They're a part of it. They're a part of the horrible environment that's being created. And we're encouraging people to get things that they want when they want it, instead of actually trying to get an understanding, not just of the situation, but first themselves and why they even feel that way, and adjust and turn from it, because it's just not beneficial in the long run. That patience piece is a deep one. It goes deeper, but I'm done. That's my TED talk. I just felt that. I felt that. It was real strong.
It's rough out there right now.
It's real strong, man. Hey, listen, if you stuck to the end of this from the bottom of my heart, thank you oh so much. If you want to hear more of these kinds of conversations in this format, please check the description below. There you will find a link to sign up for a Maverick membership. This is where the Truth Project sessions go down every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, where you can be a part of conversations just like the one I shared in this video. Your worldview is welcome, no matter what worldview you come from, and we're all there pursuing one goal: truth. Check the link in the description, sign up, 3 days for free. After that, it's $9.99 a month, but you'll get your money's worth and then some. I'll see you over there, and until next time, be easy and be breezy, my friend. Peace.